Welcome back to the Ball Don't Lie podcast. Today is our official draft episode, mock draft, that we're going to be doing as a collective unit. We all came up with our own mock drafts, but we all decided to do a collective mock draft as well. So basically how this works is that Tejas will have the first pick and he will act as a GM of the Orlando Magic. Hudson would have the second pick. I would have the third pick. And then we would rotate that order until we get to 30. And then from whoever has the first pick, if Tejas picks a guy, Hudson will have to adjust according to who Tejas picks. And then we can all chime in and say, okay, I would have had this guy on my mock draft, etc. I also have Darian's mock draft as well because he made his. But let's get right into it, starting the draft. We have the Orlando Magic on the clock. Tejas, you have as much time as you want to take. But you already have it ready, obviously, because of your mock. So.
No, yeah, I already have it ready. And this is always an iffy pick. Because Orlando can go a bunch of ways. I would say there's 3 options you can go with the first overall pick. But I feel like this is the best option for the Orlando Magic. Mo Bamba is a unrestricted free agent, and I have a good feeling he is not going to sign back. So with that being said, with the first overall pick, I think the Orlando Magic take Chet Holmgren, power forward out of Gonzaga.
Okay.
Hudson, you want any thoughts?
Here's what I'm thinking. Okay, if you're Orlando, you move Wendell Carter to the center position where he's been playing all his career, and then you move Chet as a small ball power forward, which he's more suited for right now until he adds on more strength. But that's just the way I would roll with if you're Orlando. Look, I don't have a problem with any of the other 2 picks, but Chet Holmgren, he deserves to be the number 1 overall pick. He's a freak of nature. He's a defensive anchor, and he can be an offensive force at times as well. So this is where I think the Magic should take it.
Hudson, what you want to chime in on that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. My number 1 overall pick. I think we all have different picks because I have Jabari Smith, but I just feel like Chet Holmgren. The one thing I'm uncertain about him is his frame, his size, or not height size, but I mean weight size. I don't think obviously being the center of a team will mean he's going to be defending a guy like Embiid or Bam or Karl-Anthony Towns or guys like that, but when you do have to face, you can't be 7'1" or 7 foot whatever and not be facing any of those guys on the defensive side of the ball. And that's where a problem may come in. Obviously, being 7 foot and having that 3-point shot, like a spot up shooter, is something special. So this guy is going to be really good in the league, but I'm just not sure if he's going to be worth that number 1 overall spot. But obviously, those 3 guys are tier number 1. Then there's a big drop after, or not a huge, but obviously those 3 guys are the only ones in contention for the first 3 picks.
Who do you have at 1?
I have Jabari Smith Jr. going number 1.
To quickly counter your point, Hudson, that's why he doesn't need to guard Embiid. They have Wendell Carter on their team as well.
Right.
I had Paolo Banchero, not only because I believe that I think he's the best offensive player in the draft, but like apart from that, I think when you look at Orlando's core, I think the one thing that they're missing is a go-to scorer. I think Paolo is the best scorer in the draft. He's the best offensive player in the draft because he's automatically the best scorer, but he's also a really good playmaker. He can bring the ball up the floor as well. I like Jabari as well. Like obviously, like y'all know Jabari. Jabari's my boy, but like Jabari's missing a tight handle. He's finishing at the rim is not his strong suit. He likes to shoot over people. I think Paolo has the full offensive package. I think that's why, when you look at their young core, like when I go down the list with this team, like I'm looking at all these names and none of these guys strike me as a guy who can just flat out be the number 1 option. So I think that's what they're missing. And I think you can play him alongside Wendell Carter. But Tejas has chosen Chet, so that's what we will go with. As we move on to number 2, Hudson, you are on the clock with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, well, taking the guy who I thought was going to be going, or taking the guy who I thought would be available here, leaves my number 1 pick available. So with the second pick in the 2022 NBA draft, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder selecting Jabari Smith. I feel like he's going to be able to fit in alongside Shea and Giddey and become a top tier player on a very, very young team who is going to be bright coming in the next years.
I agree. I have Jabari Smith going to the Thunder as well. Look, Suhas, you of all people should know how excited I am to see Jabari Smith in this league. He reminds me so much of these prototypical wings in the league that just shoot over players and say, I'm just better than you. Okay. I said this in our chat like months ago when during February. I said, what did I say? I said, whoever takes Jabari Smith in this draft will have a championship in 5 to 10 years. That's how good I think he is. He can be a top 20 player by the end of his third year in the NBA. That's how good I think Jabari Smith is. This should be a no-brainer. And OKC has a gem. Jabari fits in perfectly at the power forward position. They are lacking at center because I think Isaiah Roby would be their center right now. But I mean, he's young too, so give him a shot. And they're obviously a rebuilding team, so might as well take best player available, and that's clearly Jabari Smith here.
Yeah, I had him going with Chet, but you cannot go wrong with Jabari. Like I said, I predicted Jabari's jump like before the season started. I think when they were playing a preseason game. So I'm a huge fan of his game. Like Jabari Smith is a very good player. Like the way he just shoots over people, the reason I gravitated towards him is because he just reminded me a lot of like KD when he was just shooting over people. But like he also has like a lot of different mixes in his games. Like he also has some like Jason Tatum's similarities in him as well. But I think I had him going with Chet, but obviously Chet's gone. So Jabari Smith Jr. will be the pick. And now I'm on the clock with the Houston Rockets. I think this is a pretty much no-brainer. I mean, my number one player in the draft is sitting at 3, so I think the Rockets come out of this as winners because I think this is what's going to happen in real life. I don't think Paolo's going to go 1 or 2 with all the reports. I think he's going to go 3, and I think Houston's going to get the best offensive player in the draft. Their offense is going to be crazy, bro. Like, although Paolo's not the best defender, which is why I don't think he's like ranked 1 or 2. I think he has the tools. Like a lot of players that just didn't come into the league as great defenders, even though they had like the physical tools. I think he'll be one of those guys. But I mean, like him and Jalen Green is going to be crazy in the pick and roll. So I'm gonna go Paolo at 3.
Okay, that's it. I had Paolo also at 3. And again, Houston has a lot of holes, but especially the power forward position. So I have especially with them trading Christian Wood away too. I have no problem. I have no problem with this pick at all. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. Of the top 3, I think we can all agree that Chet, Jabari, and Paolo will all be top 3 in no order. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And Houston can just get the last one. I mean, I don't think they have a problem with either.
What do you think the order will be on draft night?
I think the order is going to be the order that we have right now: Chet, Jabari, Paolo.
I think it's going to be Jabari, Chet, Paolo.
I do too.
Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. Okay, I think we can all agree that I know you don't, Suhas, but I think Paolo Banchero out of the top 3, he's probably 3rd. And to be honest, I'm not even that sold on Paolo. I get it; he's powerful, he's strong, but sometimes he just doesn't have a motor. And sometimes he's just passive on the court to me in my eyes. I saw it in the game against UNC when he needed to take over down the stretch. He just didn't show up. He didn't demand
we can
the
say
ball.
that. We can say that about Jabari against Miami.
We can also you can say that about Jabari, but and the thing with Paolo is Jabari too. Yeah, I will say that. But
Hudson, you saw that game, bro. You got clamped.
Yeah, against Jordan Miller.
Dude, that's another thing with Jabari. He doesn't demand the basketball like he does. But with Paolo, like sometimes his jumper isn't there. And NBA, bigs are way bigger than he is. He's not gonna be playing against college guys. He's a very good player. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think he'll have as much success as people are chiming him to have. Which is why I had him going 3rd. No disrespect though, he's still a good player, but I think out of the top of those three, he's the worst one.
We'll see. I think the exact opposite. We'll see. So he'll go at 3. Tages, you're on the clock with the Kings. Who you got?
Yeah. So if I'm the Kings, you knew you weren't getting any of the top three. As the GM of the Kings, here's what I do.
Oh wait,
And you guys might-
I forgot to say Darian had Chet, Paolo, Jabari.
Really?
Paolo over Jabari?
Yeah, I mean I had Paolo over Jabari.
All right. I mean, I'm glad he had Chet though. But anyways, so with the 4th pick, I don't know if you guys. This is interesting, but I think if you're the Sacramento Kings, you have to do this. I would go. It's interesting because I don't know how you guys are gonna react. I think they should go Keegan Murray.
Mm-mm.
Here's
Mm.
why. Here's why.
I wanna.
I know why.
I'll
because
go after
this
you.
is
I'll
I
go
was
after you.
debating this too.
Here's what. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. You
Yeah,
go.
I'll go. But what I was trying to say is, okay, look, Jaden Ivey. We have all been. He's explosive. He's going to be a terrific point guard in this league. The problem is you just drafted 3 point guards in a span of 5 years. Do you really want to take a 4th point guard in 6 years? Not really it. Now you could have gone small forward, but the problem is there's really no small forwards on the board. Keegan Murray is probably your best wing position. You need a wing. Keegan Murray's not really a wing.
I mean, it says right here that the power forward need is severe, and he's a power forward.
That's because they have Sabonis as a center, which is completely retarded.
No, they have him as a power forward.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, first of all, what the heck? Scroll down again. Scroll down. Who the hell is Lewis King?
He's a 2-way player. I don't know why he started.
Okay. No, but I think what they'll do is they'll start Rashawn Holmes at the center and
I think
Keegan Murray.
Rashawn Holmes
Look,
is out.
look. Here's the thing. Sabonis is. I feel like Sabonis is not going to last long in Sacramento. And I think Keegan Murray is the right guy. Look, he's listed as a power forward. He's 6'8". I'm pretty sure he's like 210, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot what his weight was.
Right here. 225.
225. Look, he's got the. He can also play the small forward position, in my opinion. In the NBA, you want guys bigger at their position.
That's why I said he reminds me of Tobias Harris. He can play the 3 and the 4.
Which is why I said this is why the Sacramento should take Keegan Murray, because he can play the 3 and the 4, in my opinion. He's a very good scorer, which is something you need in the NBA. You need guys on the wing that can score. You look at all the big players in the league, excluding Steph Curry, LeBron James, Giannis, KD, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. I can keep on going. And you can exclude the big men too, but sometimes they play like wing players too. Okay. So you need wing players in this league to be good. And I think Sacramento should take the first step in doing that with Keegan Murray. But I mean, y'all can decide on who else you can take. You could take Jaden Ivey. You could take Shaden Sharp.
No, we'll go with Keegan Murray, obviously, but
But like I think Keegan Murray is the pick here.
I was gonna go Ivy. I don't know, Hudson. Were you here at Ivy?
I've Ivy. Yeah.
The thing about Ivy is I know the fit is very clunky in Sacramento because they have De'Aaron, and obviously they're none of them are like elite shooters or anything, and then they have Davion. But like, listen, but I don't really care because like none of those guys are Steph Curry, none of those guys are Ja Morant that you just get like do not take a generational talent like Jaden Ivey for. You don't pass up on a guy like that. I don't care if he doesn't want to be there. Steph Curry didn't want to be a Warrior. They had Monte Ellis. They still took him. Like De'Aaron is not safe, bro. Like I know he didn't get traded, but like De'Aaron is not like anyone who should be untouchable. Davion is fine. Like I'm not the hugest Davion fan, as you guys probably know, but like he doesn't stop you from taking like a dude like Ivy, bro. And like Keegan Murray is cool, but I think Ivy's generational. I think the dude is just ridiculous. you have to go for it if you're the Kings because he's the best player available. Your franchise has been absolute dog water for how many ever years. You just have to take something that can like swing for the fences. Take this guy who can bring you to the promised land. Um, I think they should take Ivy.
No, that's a very fair point. Like I mentioned, Ivy's going to be really good in this league, but like trading De'Aaron, like, what are you gonna get back for? Okay, I know we're getting a little bit too off topic, but like, what are you gonna get for De'Aaron Fox? Like, I get it, he's young and all that, but I don't know if there's a wing on the market that's untouchable or like that is tradable right now. A wing that you need. So like, I get it, but Keegan Murray is really good too. Like, I think if you're the GM, I would rather go Keegan over Jaden Ivey, if based on this team.
I
Now, if I had
understand.
to,
Obviously,
now,
the fit with Jaden Ivey is not the best.
yeah. Now, if I had to choose, like, if I wanted one or the other on my team to start my team, I would choose Jaden Ivey in an instant, no doubt about it. But like, based off the fit, like Keegan Murray seems like the ideal fit.
Hudson, what about you?
I am fully agreeing with Suhas here. I just feel like I told you guys a couple days ago when I started watching these prospects that I wasn't the very highest on Keegan Murray as a lot of people were, but I feel like you said, with the situation in Sacramento with De'Aaron Fox, Davion Mitchell, it would be a bit iffy taking another point guard in Jaden Ivey and putting him into that rotation and stuff. But I just feel like, if Keegan Murray was a bit better, then it'd be, I could go either way. Or if Jaden Ivey was a bit worse of what he's going at. But this is looking like you said, generational talent that I feel like Sacramento could not pass up on. And I know it's hard taking a player like this into their situation of point guards and stuff, but I feel like Killian Hayes, maybe his time to go. Or sorry, I'm on the wrong team right now. My bad. But I think Jaden Ivey, De'Aaron Fox could be on his way out. And Jaden Ivey, I think this will be his team in the future. But obviously, we have Keegan Murray going to Sacramento here.
He will go at 4. He will go at 4. And then Hudson, speaking of Killian Hayes, the Pistons are on the clock with your pick. Darian also had Jaden Ivey at 4.
Yeah, so with Jaden Ivey still being on the board here at 5, talking about Killian Hayes, I feel like he could end up also being out the door with Ivey here. And this backcourt could be very intriguing with Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham, 2 back-to-back top 5 picks. And I have Jaden Ivey going to Detroit here. I don't think that is how it's going to shape up Thursday night, but if he's on the board at 5, I do not think Detroit's thinking twice about it. I just don't think that there's anybody even close to better or even the same talent as Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, I have Okay, if I have Jaden Ivey going here, but let me tell you this, okay?
Let's get Jaden Ivey, bro.
If Jaden Ivey got picked 4th to the Kings, the Pistons are in an ideal situation because they don't have a problem taking Keegan Murray and they don't have a problem taking Jaden Ivey either. So they're in a prime position with the fifth pick. So I don't have a problem with either of those picks.
To say, I think they just get Jaden. I think the Kings should trade down if they like.
Kings?
No, I'm talking about like at pick 4. I forgot to say about the Kings. I think if teams want to get Jaden Ivey, and you can get future picks or whatnot, I think you should entertain trading down.
Right, and
because I know a lot of teams want to trade up to 4, right?
They should, especially if the Kings are going to be a bit iffy about drafting Jaden Ivey. And if I'm Sacramento, the asking price is sky high right now. Right here,
per Woj, Detroit, Indiana, New York, and Washington want to trade up to 4.
When, I mean, it makes sense.
You would have to get a premium haul though, because we know the potential Jaden Ivey has.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's basically trading Jaden Ivey, so you're gonna want to get as much as you can if you're Sacramento.
Yeah.
If Detroit wants to move up to 4, it won't take much because they have the 5th pick, so Sacramento can just move down 1 spot.
Yeah, but if they're trading the pick, it's to get Jaden Ivey. So obviously,
they'll have to give up something else.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
but we're going Ivy at 5.
Yeah.
Is that the pick? All right, cool.
Mhm.
All right, that puts me on the clock with the Pacers. All right, but like I said, I did not do this as a lot of people would. Like I had, this is not like a traditional mock draft where I like followed everyone else's. This is my opinion. I'm going with my favorite player in the draft, Benedict Mathurin at number 6. You guys might be pretty shocked with this pick.
I agree.
You agree? Okay, I didn't expect
I agree.
anyone else to have this
Yeah.
guy.
Huh.
I have Mathurin at 6. I do have Mathurin at 6. It has him listed as a 3 here, but I think he can also play the 2. And I think Brogdon should be out the door. I think TJ Warren is definitely out the door. And I think you can have a Tyrese. I mean, looking at, I don't know who the hell is Nate Hinton. I think you can have a Tyrese, Mathurin, and Duarte. 1, 2, 3. I think for the future, and I love Mathurin, man. I think Mathurin's game is very slept on. I think people classify him in that Keegan Murray range because he was a sophomore, that he doesn't have the potential. But I think that he just has. I think he's only like 19 years old, so he's still a young player for a sophomore. His defense is very underrated. His offensive game is more than just being a shooter. He reminds me a lot of Karis LeVert, Jaylen Brown, that type of player. I'm gonna go with Mathurin at 6.
That's actually a very solid pick, and I wouldn't be surprised if he actually leapt up the boards. But I had Shaden Sharp at 6 with the Pacers. I felt like he kind of felt the position a little bit more. He's explosive. He's 6'6" for a shooting guard. I mean, just like Mathurin. I felt like he'd fit I feel like he'd fit Indiana a little bit more, but I don't have a problem if you take either one. No doubt about that. So yeah, I had the Pacers taking Shaden Sharp here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they took Benedict here either. He's been leaping up the board, so.
So what do you agreed with me, right?
Yeah. I agree with Benedict Mathurin going number 6.
Oh shoot, okay. Hey, y'all want to know who Darian had?
Who?
Oh God.
Jalen Duren.
Oh
What the
my
fuck?
goodness.
Hey, I mean, look, if we're talking about Miles Turner possibly being traded, then it makes somewhat sense.
No, time out. Why would the Pacers trade away Miles Turner if they just traded DeMontis Sabonis away? No,
because they're thinking about drafting Jalen Duren.
Jalen Duren is not a 6th overall pick. Hell no.
And we're talking like Miles Turner's already traded, bro. Like he's still on the team.
Oh no, I obviously I don't agree with Jalen Duren going top 6, but I'm just saying that would be the idea, obviously, of
You're trying
Miles
to play
Turner.
devil's advocate here.
Huh?
You're trying to play devil's advocate here.
No, but if Jalen Duren is where he has him going, it's because Miles Turner the idea was that he would be traded most likely, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Darian is a very, his opinions about drafts are kind of insane, but I just don't think so. No way, we'll get to Jalen Duren later, but at 6? Like, come on, dog. No way.
At 7, Tages here on the clock with the Blazers.
Yeah. So I would have had Benedict Mathurin going here, but we'll just go to the other option. I think the Blazers take Shaden Sharp here. He can transition to my idea was you play Benedict at the 3, and then you play Shaden at the. I'm sorry, what was that thing? You play Benedict at the 3, have Dame and Anthony play 1 and 2. But I guess same thing applies here. You can have Shaden Sharp play the 3. He's 6'6". I know it's not that tall of like a position to play, but hold on. How big is he in terms of weight, Shaden? I'm pretty sure he's in the 100s if I'm not mistaken.
He is 200.
200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can play the 3. He's got the tools to play the 3, and he's only 19 years old. Kind of fits the Blazers mold. He's very explosive. He's going to be a good guard in this league. So that's where I would have him. I had him going 6, like I mentioned, but I don't have a problem if you interswap Shaden Sharp and Benedict Mathurin here at all. I feel like he might start off on the bench at first, and because they'll probably play Josh Hart at the 3. But eventually if Dame gets shipped out, which I assume he will in the next few years, he'll probably slide into the 2 and have Anthony play the 1. So this would be the good pick to go to right here.
Hudson, who do you have here?
Going number 7, I had Shaden Sharp.
Okay, yeah, I did too.
So,
That's why.
yeah.
I think this is a good. All right, so he will go at number 7.
Who did Darian have? You
Oh,
can't
shit.
forget this.
Darian had Keegan Murray.
That's fair.
What?
Yeah.
Actually,
Well, I mean,
no,
like,
yeah, no, but
he-
Nasir Little, hold up.
I mean, Nasir Little was like a
What?
3.
No, you can play Little at the 4. He's big. Little's big.
No, but you can play him at the 3 too.
Fair, I guess. All right. Hudson, you're up at 8.
Yeah, pick 8 with the Pelicans, Hudson.
I feel like that. Okay,
Yes.
before he goes, I feel like there's only one player for this team.
Is there?
I
Yeah.
think so. But go ahead,
I'm
Hudson.
hoping I'm not making the wrong decision here, but this is a player that I've said I've really liked while watching these guys the past couple days. And with the 8th pick in the draft, I have the Pelicans taking Dyson Daniels.
Good
I
pick.
agree.
I agree.
I think Dyson
Is that
Daniels.
the player?
Yeah, that's the player for me.
Yeah, I think Dyson Daniels is the only pick if he's there on the board for
Okay,
the Pelicans.
cool.
They need a point
Yeah.
guard. CJ McCollum can't play the point. He can play the 2. I ain't
No.
got no problem with that.
Yeah.
And I think Dyson Daniels would be really good on this team. He's big for his position. He's got really good vision, like off the charts vision. He can shoot. He's got to get a little bit more consistent with that jumper. But I really like what I saw from him in the G League. I think he'll fit in perfectly with the Pelicans. And the Pelicans just keep on adding to that young core. And what could have been the Lakers pick to get a point guard?
Oh, facts. I
Pelicans
forgot that was
steal it
the
right
Lakers
away.
pick. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dyson Daniels is a very good prospect. He's been shooting up a lot of boards just because he's a big point guard. Like, I mean, this is a similar situation to Josh Giddey. Like, it's very like similar. Like, they're just the players, the play styles are similar. He's a tall point guard. The only problem is the shot. He's like shot 27% from 3 in college, or not college, in the G League. But if he puts that together, then
that can be improved very quickly.
yeah, shooting is something that can be improved. Everything else, he's pretty much got it. So he'll go 8.
Who did Darian have?
He had AJ Griffin.
Bro, with Ingram and Zion and Larry Nance and Herb Jones and Trey
Dude.
Murphy. Oh
So
my
wait,
goodness.
he had Shaden Sharp going 5 to the Pistons. He had Duren going 6 to the Pacers and Keegan Murray going 7, and then AJ Griffin 8.
Dude,
I
I
bet.
don't know what this dude is thinking.
All right. I'm on the clock with the Spurs. I'm not going with any of these
Oh.
top guys. I'm not going with any of these
Oh,
guys.
I think I know who you're going with.
I
Please
gotta
tell me you're
look.
going with
I
that
gotta
guy.
look for my boy. There he is, Jeremy
Yes,
Sohan.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, Suhas. That's exactly what I'm thinking too.
Jeremy Sohan is my guy, bro. I love Jeremy Sohan. I think, bro, I just think that he was like, he's such a high IQ player, bro. I think Pop would love a guy like him. He does a lot of the dirty work. Like he's a point forward, like that Draymond Green, Ben Simmons type.
Ooh.
He's athletic, he's strong, he can rebound. The only thing he has to put together is the shot. But dude, like I'm such a huge fan of Jeremy Sohan, dude. Like defensively, he can guard 1 through 5, like legitimately. I think the Spurs could love a guy like him. I think they need to bolster up that front court. So I'm taking Jeremy Sohan at 9, which
Yeah,
might seem high.
I completely agree with you. I actually have Sohan going at 9 to the Spurs as well. I think he fits that mold perfectly. Like, and of course, Pop would love a player with Jeremy Sohan's IQ, and his versatility, man. Like that, we're not talking in this league. You need versatility. That's probably one of the more important things that you need in this league. Versatility on your team, and Jeremy Sohan brings it. He can guard 1 through 4, maybe even 5 at times. So yeah, I think this is the pick. He does need to work on his shooting. But of course that can be improved throughout a few years in the league. No doubt about it. So this is definitely the pick for the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, I have no problem.
I was going not back and forth, but a lot of different ways that this pick could have gone. But here, I saw Jakob Poeltl was going to be free agent next year, and I went and got the Spurs, or at least in my mock draft, the center of the future, taking Jalen Duren here, number 9. But I have in my mock, I do have Jeremy Sohan going soon, but my mock did have Jalen Duren going to the Spurs.
That's
What's
not
that?
a bad pick. But
Yeah, that's not. You could go a lot of different ways. I'm gonna tell you right now, Jeremy Sohan is not in Darian's lottery.
what?
He's not.
No,
In the
He's
lottery?
not.
not in the
No
lottery.
way.
But yeah,
Damn.
he's not top 14. So, so you guys can take that whatever way you want
Oh
to.
my goodness. My goodness. Okay.
Tejas, you're on
so
the clock with the
Yeah,
Wizards.
10. If I'm the Wizards GM, there's a few ways you could go with this pick. You can go point guard. You can also go center. And I'm actually going to go center. I'm taking Jalen Duren. This is where I have him in my mock.
Really?
And he kind of fits the prototypical role that the Wizards have run throughout the past few years. In fact, I would say for a while, guys like Martin Gortat, guys like Daniel Gafford, Thomas Bryant, he sort of fits that type of role. He's 19. He's explosive, Jalen Duren. And I think he just falls right into the Wizards' hands. I take him at 10.
Really? But like, what do they do with Thomas Bryant and Daniel Gafford?
Yeah.
Look,
So
they're not. Look, here's the thing. Thomas Bryant is going. They're gonna cut him eventually. And I think Daniel Gafford can be a good backup, but he's not starting center material type. Jalen Duren is starting center material type. So here's the thing. You could go AJ Griffin, but then I'd say they have too many wings. That there's just no way. You could go shooting guard, but they already have guys like Bradley Beal and what's his face? KCP. You could say, oh, they could go point guard, but who's the next point guard on the board?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense. So Jalen Duren seems like the pick here.
I had him going with Johnny Davis just because he's my best player available.
Fair. But okay, here's the thing. Bradley Beal seems like he's gonna resign. I actually think he's gonna resign.
Because you play Johnny Davis at the 1 because they don't have a point guard. Who's their point guard? Raul Neto? Yeah, they don't have. I mean, I can look at their depth right now. Actually, fuck, can I get out of the screen? No, I can't. All right,
you have to refresh.
Nah, that's whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's Raul Neto.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, who's not much better? Hudson, who do you have?
I had AJ Griffin going to the Wizards.
Okay, variety. All right, Jalen Duren is going to go at 10 then. 11, Hudson, you're on the clock with the Knicks.
Yeah, so my mock obviously did not really have AJ Griffin available, so that left a pretty easy choice. But I just don't think that a small forward would be the decision here for the Knicks, with RJ Barrett being, in my opinion, the best player on this team at their small forward spot. I really don't think AJ Griffin would be the smartest pick here, but not one of my favorites, but a guy that I do like coming out of this draft class is Johnny Davis, and I feel like he would be a really, really good fit for this Knicks team, and that's where I have this team going, taking Johnny Davis with the 11th pick in the draft.
Not a bad pick.
Yeah, solid.
I would have gone. My pick was AJ Griffin here. I think. Look, they have him listed as a small forward. You can play him at the 2. I think he's better suited at the 2 in the NBA, to be honest, rather than playing the 3. But Johnny Davis, I don't have no problem with that. Look, the Knicks are kind of loaded at the first four positions, and center is lacking. But the problem is there's not really a center you would take. Maybe you would take Mark Williams, but
No.
like not
You can
really.
trade back. You can trade back.
You
and
could
pick-
trade back and get Mark Williams.
But they want to trade up to 4.
They want to trade up. Yeah, that's the thing. So if they
trade
don't
up
trade up
for Ivy. For
Yeah.
Ivy.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
if they don't trade up, I think they end up going guard. Or sorry, forward. Somewhere around there. Because look, they have Evan Fournier starting at the shooting guard. That's not gonna last for a while. So you get a guy that can play this shooting guard position. And Johnny Davis could fit it. But I think AJ Griffin can also fit it as well, which is why I had him going in my mock to the Knicks.
I had Duran going to the Knicks, but he's obviously gone. So like, yeah, I had him and Johnny Davis flipped on this mock. But at 12, I guess I just kind of got to go best player available with the Thunder. I mean, they were like the worst 3-point shooting team in the league, and the one thing that AJ Griffin can do is shoot. I think that's like the only thing that he really brings to the table is like the fact that he can shoot the ball, which is still very good, obviously. But like, I'm not a believer in him defensively. I just don't think he has it. I mean, he has some tools, but like he just like defensively, like his movement is all over the place. But he can shoot the ball though, and he'll help them on the perimeter. So he's the best player available. You just got to go with him at 12. So OKC, you get Jabari and AJ Griffin in this mock draft. So I guess they win. They're one of the winners automatically.
Well, yeah, obviously AJ Griffin would be the most sense. Speaking of who's on the board, but in my draft, I have Jeremy Sohan going here, and if they do end up with a guy like Jeremy Sohan plus Chet Holmgren, that gets them arguably the two best defensive players in this draft, which would be great for them. But obviously, having picks 2 and 12 is going to be a nice haul for the Thunder at the end of this draft. But AJ Griffin does make the most sense here.
I actually had them taking. This is an interesting one. I had them taking Tari Easton from LSU. Because I think that they could use another small forward behind Lou Dort. And I think eventually he kind of overpassed Lou Dort. That's what I had the Thunder doing. But I have no problem with them taking AJ Griffin in this mock, like you said. But it'll be interesting. I have a feeling they, based on their first pick, is what they'll do with their second pick. We'll see.
Tari Easton is probably my favorite player in this draft class. So
he's very good. He's very good.
I'm a big fan of him.
Taylor Shore at 13 with the Hornets.
Yeah. Suhas, you and I have been chirping at this one for a while. Yep. I think this is a very obvious pick. And I don't think if you have someone else at this pick, like, come on, dog. The Hornets just need one position. They really don't need any other position. And it's center. And there's one person from North Carolina that they've been just chiming on for weeks in the reports. Mark Williams is going to be a Charlotte Hornet. It's just gonna happen. Like, I don't think there's been a bigger need for a team than the Hornets need for a center. So I think they take him here. And he's very good. Don't get me wrong.
Good.
He's good.
That transition offense with him and LaMelo is going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm glad that. What you say, Hudson?
You know, it would be such a Charlotte Hornets moment, thinking that we'll take somebody else.
But I was about to say that, bro. I was about to say, I'm so glad that because I've seen people say that. I've seen people say that the Cavs are not going to take him, so they should take him at 15. But people could just trade up and just take him, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. You got to secure your guy, bro.
You got to be safe and just take him at 13.
At 13, like I hate when teams play that game because anyone can trade up and get Mark Williams, especially with a team like the Cavs who want to trade down. So
yeah, exactly. That's what I said in our NFL draft. You remember at 5? Where people were like, "Oh, the Giants could have taken Evan Neal."
That's exactly what I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kayvon Thibodeau. Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agree. Mark Williams will go at 13. Hudson, you're on the clock with the Cavs at 14.
Okay. So, at number 14, the only reason I feel like this guy isn't going at least a little bit higher is because of his age. And I'm not sure how to pronounce it really, Ochai Agbaji going here to the Cavs.
I
feel like
completely agree with you.
I also agree. We're all in unison on this one.
yeah, he's 22 years old. So like I said, with the age thing, there's a lot of 3-and-D small forwards that there's just so many of them in this draft. And I feel like Ochai Agbaji has got a lot of experience, obviously coming off of his championship year and being a senior at Kansas. And I feel like he would just be a great player with the Cavs coming off of their crazy year and just missing out on the playoffs. If they can make some moves this offseason, Ochai Agbaji is a player that you can plug into that rotation. He can give you minutes, give you scoring, give you defense, and would be a really good fit for this Cleveland team.
I forgot to read off of Darian's box. So I got to read off right now. At 9, he had the Spurs taking Ben Mathurin. At 10, he had the Wizards taking Johnny Davis. At 11, he had the Knicks taking Dyson Daniels. At 12, he had the Thunder taking Ousmane Dieng. And then he had the Hornets taking Mark Williams. He had the Cavs taking Malachi Branham.
That's fair.
Say who?
Fair.
Oh, Branham. Okay.
Yeah.
But Dieng is a reach for, what was it, the Knicks or the Thunder?
The Thunder. I mean, he's
That's a bit of a
projected to
reach.
go 12 apparently in ESPN's thing, but I just don't see him that high.
Is he really? I
Yeah,
haven't
he's
gone that
projected. I don't have him going that high.
I'm going that. I think Eason is better than him, but for some reason, Eason is below.
So yeah, where do they have Dyson Daniels going?
11 to the Knicks, which is crazy. I don't think he's going to fall that far.
No way.
No, I
And
don't.
first of all, why would the Knicks even take Dyson Daniels?
Well, I mean, I guess like they don't really have a point guard of the future. I mean, who's their
I
point
mean,
guard?
Emmanuel Quickly.
Quickly's more of a 2 to me. 2 to me. I mean, Dyson Daniels is the best player available though, so you just got to take him, I guess. At 11,
Yeah.
but I also had the Cavs going Ochai. I think this is all he has to do is just like go on the team and just catch and shoot. He doesn't have anything else to do. Like just shoot the ball, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I said he could be
I think
the Desmond Bain of this draft.
no, yeah, Levert, Garland, and Sexton are going to do most of the job, unless Sexton is inside back. But regardless, Garland and Levert are going to do most of the ball handling. You just got to sit, shoot. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, so he'll go at 14. I am on the clock at 15 with the Hornets, who took Mark Williams just now. I'm going with Tari Eason just because their team is like absolutely terrible defensively. Like we saw it in that playing game. They couldn't stop anyone on the Hawks.
Agreed.
So I have Tari Eason going here. I think he's the best defender, perimeter defender in the draft. I think interior defender is probably Chet or something. But yeah, Tari Eason is going to be 15 for me.
This is where I had Johnny Davis going, which is kind of late, but I think he'd fit the Hornet system well. They'd have Bouknight, LaMelo, Terry, and I think they should move off of Terry. I know I've been saying this for a while. Loki, you know what they should do? I think I said this to Darian. The Hornets should trade Gordon Hayward away. Gordon Hayward and some salary filler for Westbrook and have Westbrook's expiring contract. And then they'd have, trade away Terry away eventually to just save even more cap space. But, I don't have a problem with Tari Eason. The Hornets, they really lacked defensive wings because I don't think Oubre could really guard that well. And Hayward's not really that defensive kind of guy. So yeah, I'd take him here as well. But he wasn't here on my mock, so I had Johnny Davis.
And Hudson, you had Eason?
I had Eason going 15.
Yeah, Darian had Ochai going 15. All right, Hawks are on the clock with Tejas.
So if I'm the Hawks, Suhas, this is an interesting one. Look, I've always been high on the guys that have come out of the G League. So with the 16th pick, the Hawks will take
Ooh,
Jaden Hardy.
I love it.
Oh, wow.
I love the pick. I actually really like the pick.
It fits so well because they need a defensive guy behind Trey Young. He can play the two if necessary as well, a little bit. I think he's like 6'4".
Yes, it's
Yeah, he's basically your defensive guard. I think he fits perfectly.
well, he's not a defensive guard though. He's a gunner. He's
No,
He's
no.
not.
What I'm
He
what I'm
lacks.
saying is he get. I didn't mean to say he's a defensive player. I meant to say that he's a little bit bigger. He's not going to get exposed on the defensive end like Trey will. So he'll be a good backup guard behind Trey, I think. So this is what I would do, and he's got a ton of potential too. You know, playing in the G League, you play against pros, so it's a good pick for Atlanta, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. I just think I had him going with Malachi, and I think you kind of have to go with him if he's on the board because I think he's the best player available right now. And he's also another guy who can play off the ball next to Trey. So
Malachi, okay. I'll get to Malachi later, but
Hudson, who do you
go
have?
ahead.
I also had Malachi Branham going to the Hawks. I
Yeah.
feel like they needed another ball handler beside Trey Young, and I guess Jaden Hardy does fit that criteria very well. But obviously with his offseason and inefficiency in the G League, his draft stock has dropped like pretty crazily. But a lot of people are just really split. I've seen him going in the second round. I've seen him going mid to late first round. So I've seen him everywhere. I have him going later in the first round, I'll say. But
I have him in the
guess
20s.
I do too. I have him early 20s.
Who?
Jaden Hardy.
Jaden Hardy.
Jaden Hardy. Ooh.
Yeah. And I love Jaden
Yeah.
Hardy. I just don't know if a team there's not many teams that need a guy with his profile. I think that's why he's so low on these big boys. But I think he's more suited for contending teams. But the Hawks are trying to contend anyway, so I think that's one of the better fits.
Yeah.
All right, Hudson, you were on the clock at 17. Darian had Jeremy Sohan at 16 to the Hawks.
Oh,
What?
gosh. Yikes. All right.
Oh my goodness. Wait, hold on. That doesn't even make sense. They have John Collins and they just drafted Jalen Johnson last year.
And
You know,
sorry,
Darian.
you can't play the
Oh my
five. They have a Congo and Capella.
Oh my god, bro, what is he thinking?
All right, Hudson, you're on the clock with the Rockets.
Yeah. So I know I had Malachi Branham going before, and he's still on the board technically, but okay, actually, never mind. I'm gonna actually have Malachi Branham going here to the Rockets. I'm a fan of his game at only 19 years old. Being 6'5", I feel like he could play. I'm not sure about the three, but between the one and the two, I feel like he can go between that Rockets young rotation and play with guys like Sengun and I was about to say Christian Wood, but Jalen Green, KPJ, guys like that. So I feel like Malachi Branham could be a good fit here for Houston.
The only reason I don't like Houston is because I don't know where he would get the minutes because you just drafted Green and Josh Christopher last week.
Yeah.
But can you say that about anybody that they take?
Yeah, but it's not like Malachi Branham is obviously he's the best player available, but there's I don't think it's like you're taking I don't know fucking Jabari Smith. I don't think it's you have to take him. He's not Jaden Ivey where for the Kings I was take Jaden Ivey even though you have this guy and this guy.
I'm also gonna say that that I think we have no trades obviously here, but I think the Rockets can package 17 and 26. I think the Mavs pick was and try to move up.
I think the Rockets should trade one of these picks. I don't think the Rockets should draft 3 players. I don't like when teams come and draft 3 rookies.
I don't think the Rockets will end up drafting 3 players. I think they're going to try to package 17 and 26 to try to move up and end up with the 3rd pick and a higher pick of whatever. But if they can't move up, I think they're going to try to trade out of 26 and just move back in the draft of the 2nd or something, or maybe for a player or something. I'm not too sure, but maybe they can package it with Eric Gordon or a player like that. I'm not sure.
I don't like when teams come into the league with 3 rookies because they did this last year too. I think they had 4 rookies last year. Jalen
Yeah,
Green,
it was
Josh
Christopher,
Christopher.
Sengun, Garuba.
Yeah, they had 4 rookies last year. So and we saw Garuba didn't even get minutes because of that. So um,
No.
but Brandon will go 17 in the mock. 18. I mean the
Oh,
Bulls
by
are
the way,
on.
I forgot to tell y'all, I had Ty Washington going
Oh yeah,
17.
yeah. Sorry, I forgot to tell you who I had. Uh, I didn't have Tata Washington. The only reason I didn't go with the point guard is because I thought you could get one at 26. So
Fair.
I went with Usman Jen.
Fair.
He's the best player
Yeah.
available.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I went with
Yeah.
Usman Jen.
I had Usman Jane going 17 too.
I thought you had in your actual mock draft.
Yeah, because I'd Branham going to the
Yeah,
Hawks.
Brandon going to the Hawks. Yeah, I had the same. 18. I get that Usman Jeng is here, but for the Bulls who are trying to contend, I think EJ Liddell is the perfect fit,
Me too.
which is why I'm going to go with EJ Liddell. I just think that he'll fit that. Who was their starting power forward? Was it DeMar? Because I know they had Javante
Patrick
Green.
Williams.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but he was
Patrick
out.
Williams is hurt, right? Yeah, so Patrick Williams.
Oh yeah.
But I think I'm gonna go
No,
EJ
you
Liddell.
hold on.
Was it Jamichael Green?
Javante
Javante Green.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Javante Green is not that big though, because I know he started.
Oh, I think he's actually like
Then
a
I
shooting
think they
guard or
played
something.
small
I don't-
ball then. I think they had
I think it was DeMar. I think it was
The four.
DeMar.
yeah, I think
at the
it was
four.
DeMar too.
But
Yeah.
regardless, I think EJ Liddell can help their team because he's older, so like he's gonna be NBA ready, which a team like the Bulls who are trying to win a ring can appreciate. He's not like one of these he's not like a team. He's not for a team like the Rockets or something like that who are gonna be rebuilding. So I think you should go to a
Mhm.
playoff pushing team like the Bulls.
This is actually where I had Usman Jang going. I know he's like he's young. He's like a prospect, but like you can't pass up on him here. Like he's 6'10, like he's got a ton of potential. And the Bulls kind of really have a sort of young team. I know they're still contending, but like Levine's 26, Lonzo's like 24 or 5. Patrick Williams is young. And they'll eventually need to get rid of Vucevic.
Now apparently they're planning on packaging this pick in Kobe White.
Kobe White, yeah, that's another issue. Kobe White has just been not really
Disappointing.
good. Yeah. But I think this is where Usman Jang would go. Like you can't pass up on him here. He's just sitting there like, nah, I wouldn't. So this is where I'd have him go to the Bulls.
Would you have Hudson? You had EJ Liddell too?
Yeah, I had EJ Liddell. I think he'd be a great fit for Chicago.
Yeah, so he will go at 18. Tatus, you're on the clock with the Timberwolves at 19.
Okay. This is an interesting pick. Scroll down a little bit. Suhas.
Yes.
Go down.
Yep. Stop.
Is it this guy right here?
Why-
Because that's who I had.
That's not who I have, Suhas.
Let's tell him.
Jokic.
I think that the Timberwolves have a solid guard rotation. So they have D'Angelo, Patrick Beverly,
Mm-hmm. And yeah,
Edwards. Fine. They have Malik Beasley playing the 3. That's an issue, in my opinion. So with the 19th pick, I think they go Nikola Jovic.
agree.
I think they go Jovic. He's got a really good game, and he's big. Like this is something that the Timberwolves, they rely on. They had Vanderbilt. They had guys like McDaniels. He fits that role perfectly. And he's got the offensive package, unlike those two. So this is what I think the Timberwolves do. And if you're the GM, I would take him too. He's got a ton of potential. He's played in the Euro leagues. He fits perfectly, in my opinion. So this is what I have the Timberwolves doing.
Yeah,
I'd
you go.
Yeah. All right. I had Nikola Jovic also going here, number 19 to the Timberwolves. Like you said, I I was also looking at the guard rotation. I was very comfortable with it, as you mentioned, everybody. And having that 3 spot kind of open, or at least a guy that shouldn't be there, I think that being one of the best small, or at least Usman Jang could be an option here if he's on the board, but in my mock, at least he wasn't. So I had Nikola Jovic going to the Minnesota.
The only reason I'm not high on Nikola Jovic is because I just don't know who he's going to defend at the next level. He might be the worst defender in the draft. He's terrible defensively. I know offensively he has a good package, but I think the Timberwolves need to surround that team with better defenders. I had them going with Dalen Terry, because with the uncertainty with D'Angelo Russell, I think he's getting shipped off. I mean, they're already shopping him. I think he's good as gone. So that point guard position is kind of lacking. They have Bev, but I think Bev has been running the 2. Anthony Edwards has been running the 3. So I had him going with Dalen Terry, but Nikola Jovic will go at 19. Darian had Ty at 17. He had EJ Liddell at 18. He had Tari Eason dropping to 19 to the Timberwolves.
Interesting.
He had Tari Eason going this.
How do you have Tari falling that low?
Yeah.
I don't, because he had Usman Jang going at 12. That's why.
Interesting. Okay. All right, 20.
Hudson, you're on the clock at 20.
With the Spurs here, okay, this is kind of tough because there's a couple guys on the board. When I was making my own mock, this pick took a while, but I think that here. Let me go back over here quickly. I think that my pick here is going to be Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara.
Fuck. That was my pick at 21.
Ooh.
That was my pick at 21. Dude, that's my boy,
Okay.
bro. Y'all know I love Jalen Williams. Like, bro.
So I had Jalen Williams going.
But I
You know what? I won't get to. But this is a very good pick.
No, I had him going at
Hudson.
mock draft, bro. But like I wanted him to take him at 21. But how could he not go with Usman Jang, bro? He's like the best player available.
I thing is that I Jalen Williams going number 20, and I haven't really seen what it would be like with Usman Jang.
Yeah. I understand.
I guess that could work too, but I feel like just Jalen Williams was my first option here.
In my mock, I had Margin Beauchamp. Again,
Beauchamp, okay.
I love the G League players, so like, this is where I had the Spurs taken. So, and I already took. Well, no, my bad. I'm taking someone else.
Jalen Williams, bro.
Jalen Williams is the deal.
He's so good. Dude, I told you, everyone is gonna. I was like, bro, these guys are starting to realize how good he is, and then he started to jump up these drafts, and then now he's like top. He's in the first round of these mocks, but it's a good pick. I just don't know if Spurs will pass up on Usman Jang.
Yeah. Spurs, you're up.
Yeah, I'm taking Usman Jang. I just don't think he can fall
with the Nuggets.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care. Like I was gonna take him if I had the Spurs pick, but like I definitely have to take him, especially because the Nuggets need some wing depth with MPJ's injury and stuff. So, I'm taking Usman Jang at 21.
No, that's a good pick. I had Jalen Williams going here to the Nuggets.
Yeah, not bad.
You don't have a problem with that. So I have no problem with this pick. So, yeah, pretty good pick for the Nuggets. Oh, by the way, who did Darian have for the last 3 picks?
Well, I told you he had Eason at 19. He had Nikola Jovic at 20. He had Beauchamp at 21, and I also had Beauchamp at 21 because I had Jalen Williams going at 20, which actually happened in this one in my actual mock draft.
Yeah, so I have Beauchamp and Williams swapped.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, we're on the same spot now.
Yeah, I had Williams going 20 and also Beauchamp going number 21.
Okay. So yeah, I just cannot see Usman Jang fall this much farther. So I have him going at 21. And then Hudson, that puts you at 22.
No, you mean me?
I mean, sorry, not
Tejas,
Hudson.
yeah.
Tejas, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in my mock, this is where I had Malachi Branham. And let me explain why I had him falling so low. Here's the problem with Branham. He's got the physical tools. I just feel like he's not fast enough to keep up with the NBA game. He's kind of slow coming off of screens. He relies on pick and roll too much, in my opinion. And he kind of relies on picks to be set for him to get wide open jumpers. I don't think he can keep up with shooting guards on the defensive side of the ball. He's got size, don't get me wrong. I just don't know if he can keep up with the speed, which is why I have him falling down to 22. But based on this mock draft, this is a clear pick for me if you're the Grizzlies. I'm taking Margin Beauchamp. This is a no-brainer for me. You need someone. Dylan Brooks is young, I get it, but Margin Beauchamp can play the small forward as well, alongside Desmond. He could low-key even play small ball 4, and you can have Jaren Jackson play 5. He's very versatile, so I really like the pick here of taking Margin Beauchamp at 22.
Suas, is this where you had Jaden Hardy going?
I did.
Okay, yeah, same. I Jaden Hardy going here.
Yeah, I did. I had. Well, no. I actually did not. I had to.
Okay.
Flip that. I had them taking Ty Washington because Tyus Jones is, I think, gone.
Okay, fair point.
But
Mhm.
so you took
Beauchamp.
Beauchamp here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hudson, that puts you at 23.
Yes, and honestly, I feel like this is a okay, actually more that I think about it. I already made my decision. I know that they're basically set at the guard position, but having this guy available, I feel like he's really, really good. And he has evolved into one of my favorite prospects of the draft, which is only a group of 4 guys. But my pick here is going to be Dalen Terry.
Good pick. I mean, well, I don't know about how he's gonna
I-
play in Philly, but
Right.
he's a good player.
Yeah. I know the situation's a bit iffy with obviously Harden and Maxey and stuff and Danny Green, whatever. But I feel like this guy might be too big of a prospect to let up on. And obviously Harden is expected to probably re-sign, but I think he's expected to re-sign on a short-term deal around maybe 2, possibly 3 years or something like that, which isn't too short, but still, I think a 2-year contract is what people are expecting. So in about 2, if Harden decides to end up leaving, which is definitely very reasonable considering his history in the past couple of years, Dalen Terry can be the next guard of this team, teaming up with Tyrese Maxey.
I had Jaden Hardy going here.
That's fair.
At 23. Oh, my bad. Should I interrupt you?
No.
Okay, yeah. So on my mock, this is where I had the 76ers taking EJ Liddell. Look, he'd fit perfectly on his team. Power forward.
Okay, I like
They're
that.
lacking. So yeah, this is where I had EJ Liddell.
Yeah.
No, I like that. Yeah, Dalen Terry will go at 23. Then is it me for 24, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I'm with the Bucks right now. And the guy I took is not like I'm trying to scroll to see where he's at. But I haven't found him yet, which is very weird. I'm going with Kendall Brown. And I don't know how he's 38.
Ooh,
I don't know.
That's actually a good pick.
He's 38 for some reason.
I thought you were gonna pick the guy that I had.
No, but I'm going with Kendall Brown just because I think they need some more defensive players on the wing. You saw how they like when Chris Middleton was out, there was like no deep wing defensive part. Like Holiday was good, obviously, but he's like a guard defender more than anything. They just don't have any wing defense, and Kendall Brown is a very good defender. So
that's fair. I had Wenzel Moore going to the Bucks here.
Ooh,
Okay.
As you
guys. Are we all forgetting who's on the board here at 24? I
Yeah, I
haven't
don't.
mentioned either of you guys mentioned his name yet.
Yeah, because I don't think they
Who?
need a point guard.
I think they do. What do you mean? Nobody.
Ty
Did you know?
Washington.
Did you know?
Have Drew Holiday, don't they?
Yes, they have Drew Holiday. I mean, off the bench, there's no point guard off the bench I'd rely on with the Bucks. Like they were running with Javon Carter and George Hill in the playoffs. That's not gonna cut it.
They
I
used,
wasn't gonna say
Pat,
I wasn't gonna
Pat
say Ty
Connaughton.
Washington, but I already had
Oh.
Ty going off my board.
Oh
I
yeah.
had the Bucks
Ty-Ty.
take. No. I had the Bucks taking Kennedy Chandler.
I don't like the fit there because he's very small, bro.
He's like 6'1".
Not
But
even. He's like
again-
5'11", 6, bro. He's
No, he's
small
six.
as hell.
He's 6'1". He's 6'1".
Is he? I mean, we'll get to
Yeah,
him.
he's 6'1".
It says he is, but they always give him an extra inch or two here and there.
Yeah. He doesn't look 6'1"
No,
to
but
me.
my thing is he can create his shot, which is what sometimes the Bucks were lacking. And sometimes if you want to run a system of him, Drew, Chris, Giannis, Lopez, or you run like somebody with Bobby Portis, like he can always play in that lineup.
No,
So-
that's not a bad option.
Yeah, I had Kennedy Chandler going 24.
All right, Hudson, you're on the clock with the Spurs, which is
Wait,
this
let
is
me.
this is apparently Boston's pick.
Okay, wait. Sorry. Let me fill out my thing here. So you had the Bucks taking Kendall Brown, right? Okay, perfect. So with this-
Darian, wait. I forgot to say that. Darian had the
Yeah.
Bucks also taking Kendall Brown. Shit. Okay, cool. They had the Grizzlies taking Bryce McGowan, Bucks taking Kendall Brown. He skipped the Sixers. I don't know. The Sixers take Wendell Moore.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, I'm at 25, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
25 is
Yeah,
the pick
someone
here.
one of you gets to
So
25.
this might be a reach in y'all's opinion. But there's no backup behind Jakob Pertl. So at 25, I have the Spurs taking Walker Kessler. Look, he's a dominant force. And I kind of felt that like he wasn't used well at UNC. Auburn used him the correct way, and he's big. He's sometimes a liability in the pick and roll, but I have no problem with that. He'll adjust and get better. He's a demon. He's a demon at the rim. He'll block everything and anything. And he's very good. He's efficient, and he can shoot some mid-range jumpers too, sort of like the way Jakob Pertl plays. So it kind of fits the Spurs system, and this is what I would do. If you're the Spurs, yeah, I take Walker Kessler here at 25.
Yeah, he's solid. I'm not a Walker Kessler fan, fan or anything like that, but he's a good player.
Yeah, same. I don't have Walker Kessler actually going in the first round, but I have the Spurs
In my first round,
in my mock. Huh?
he wasn't in my first round either.
Okay, yeah.
Walker Kessler?
Yeah, because
No,
I'm
no,
just
he
not a
would-
fan.
I think if we had 2-round mocks, I would most likely have him going in the early to mid second,
I'm
probably
going at-
early second.
The reason I didn't have him going with the center here is because they have like a second round pick that's pretty early.
Well, also the reason I didn't have is because I had them taking Jalen Duren earlier in the draft with the
Yeah,
ninth
that makes
pick.
sense for you. Makes sense for you.
Yeah.
I had him going with Jovic.
So. Oh, he's still on the board. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I had the Spurs going with Ty Washington actually.
Okay, back up to DeJounte.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, you're on
And
the clock
now
with the Rockets.
I'm on the clock with the Rockets here. In my mock, I had them taking Kennedy Chandler. And I think with Ty Washington still on the board, I think I'm going to be taking him. Because who do they run KPJ at the 1 and Jalen Green at the 2? Is
Yeah,
that
I think so.
how
Yeah,
they
I think that's
how
what they've been.
Okay, because I just think I guess Ty can come off the bench, or who knows, this season or next season in the future, maybe he can take over that starting point guard spot. But I have the Rockets taking Ty. I'm a fan of his game. That pull up mid range shot has been dominant throughout the past couple seasons at University of Kentucky. So we'll see how that translates to league. But I think with the Rockets, it'll be tough to get his minutes, obviously, but I don't think the Rockets, like we said earlier, are going to keep all their 3 picks. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of days.
I actually have Kendall Brown going here at 26 for the Rockets. But I have no problem with them taking Ty Washington. I had them taking Ty at 17. So
I also had him going with Kennedy Chandler. Well, Darian had Leonard Miller going at 25 to the Spurs, and unfortunately for Darian, Leonard Miller has withdrawn from the draft like a week ago. So I don't know what he was thinking with this mock draft.
What?
Ignite right now, so I don't know what Darian was researching.
Bro, our mock draft has really become a roast session on Darian.
Yeah, he's not in the draft. He's playing in the G League. So, and then he had Jaden Hardy going to the Mavericks at 26, even though the Christian Wood trade happened and the pick doesn't even belong to the Mavericks anymore.
Yeah, with the Christian Wood trade.
Yeah.
Well,
is it on me?
You have Miami.
I have Miami, and I guess I have to go with Kennedy Chandler because he's the best player available. And
who did you have on your mock?
I had them going with Blake Wesley, but I mean Kennedy Chandler's still on my board, so I mean I have him. Sorry, not Blake Wesley. I had him going with Bryce McGowens. My bad.
Okay. Good.
But Kennedy Chandler is still here. Lowry's getting old. So Kennedy Chandler will be the pick.
That's fair.
Good.
Yeah.
I had Wendell Moore here at 27. He's big. He can facilitate. He can play the point guard. Wendell Moore. I think they have him listed as small forward though. I'm not sure, but he played most of the point guard with Duke. If I'm not mistaken.
The way that I had it, I had Wendell Moore going earlier in the draft, so I was between Bryce McGowens and the guy that I actually had in my mock, which is Blake Wesley, who's a player that not many people are talking about, but I feel like he could definitely be a big impact on this team defensively and obviously in a quick pace offense, something like that, which is what the Heat have been doing the past couple, at least last season. But Bryce McGowens would definitely be a guy that I would love, and Kennedy Chandler, if he would fall to 27, that would be a pretty nice situation for us too.
I like Blake Wesley, but my comparison for him was Tyler Hero. Like that was my comparison for him. So I don't know if
maybe he'll end up, I guess, playing behind Donovan Mitchell would be too bad either. But
Darian had them going with Blake Wesley too. But Kennedy Chandler will be the pick. And then Tejas, for the last 3 picks, you have the Warriors at with the first one.
Yep. So at 28, this is an interesting pick. I have them taking Patrick Baldwin Jr. He's not even listed in the top 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's 39.
Oh my goodness, 39. No, but the reason why I took him is because he can shoot. Like he can flat out shoot. And he sort of fits Golden State's, system. He can shoot it. He's big, and he's not that good defensively. But when you have guys like Draymond, Iguodala, guys like them, like they can teach you defense, and he can just develop on that side of the ball. So I think this would be a great pick for Golden State, which is why I had them taking him.
That makes sense for the Warriors. In my mock, I had them taking Jake LaRavia, who I'm also a fan of. He can he can shoot the ball too. I think he's basically him and Patrick Baldwin are very similar in play styles. They're both forwards who can shoot the ball very well, around the same height, around the same defensive skill. That's just who I had Golden State taking it, number 28.
I had him going with Christian Brown out of
Yeah, I have no
Kansas.
problem with that pick either. I was thinking about that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like obviously their team revolves around their 3-point shooting, but like they have a lot of that, and I guess Christian Brown obviously gives you that defense that the Warriors can use, that the Warriors already have, but can use more of, I guess. But I just feel like a lot of they're going to be focusing, I feel like, for forward in this draft, if they're not able to possibly pay both Poole and Wiggins, which I'm sure they would, but a forward, and I feel like Laravia or Patrick Baldwin could be good options.
Yep. So Patrick Baldwin is 28. Let me see who Darian had real quick. He had shit. I can't even see. Oh, he had Walker Kessler for some reason going to the Warriors. I guess, dude. What the? Dude, they just drafted James Wiseman at 2, bro.
I mean, I guess. No, that doesn't make sense. Losing Kevon Looney possibly, but still.
All right, 29. You're on the clock, Hudson. Who you select?
Okay, with the Grizzlies here, on the board, I'm gonna have them taking Bryce McGowens, who is a player I think will end up going in this late first round, but shoot, I lost it. Never mind. Bryce McGowens is obviously a shooter. Came out of, was it Wisconsin?
Nebraska.
Okay, yeah, it was one of the red ones, but yeah, I think for this Grizzlies offense, he should be able to provide a lot, and as they go for another playoff run this season.
I had them taking Blake Wesley in my mock because he was still available, but
yeah, I also had him going with Blake Wesley. So yeah, I had him going with Blake Wesley. And then at number 30, I mean, in my actual thing, I had the Nuggets going with Jake LaRavia, but I just think I have to go with Blake Wesley. I just cannot see him fall to the second round. So I'm gonna have him go at 30.
I had a surprise one here. I have Trevor Keels going 30.
Ooh, Marcus Smart 2.0.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, because he's big, man. Like, and the Nuggets at times lack defensive guards. And when you have Jamal Murray on the floor next season, you're gonna need someone next to him that plays defense. And Trevor Keels is that guy. So that's why I had him going 30.
Yep, Blake Wesley goes 30. And just like that, our first round mock draft is complete. Collective mock draft. Let us know if you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, give us your predictions down below as to who will be drafted where, and who you want your favorite team to draft. And yeah, we'll see y'all later as always. Peace.